Saturday, everybody. So, you know, the stream name is going to be Another Lie today. I'm still on a bunch of meds, so still not going to be mixing alcohol with it. So, keep that in mind. But I do have a Red Bull. I guess that's kind of something. And let's see. How's everybody else doing so far? I can at least talk without coughing every 15 seconds. I'm still coughing a lot, but I think I'm mostly just cleaning out my lungs at this point. Haha, Sean, because of the beanie. It's hot in here right now. Out of nowhere, outside it warmed up quite a bit. So, like, I took a nap with the heater still on. So, like, the temperature in the house just started spiking. Because for what our AC unit doesn't switch from heat to cooling on its own, I have to do that manually. So, like, I woke up in a sweat. So I just showered. What's up? How's my Saturday so far? It's alright. I woke up kind of early. Got everything ready for Midnight Club episode 2 for tomorrow, for that to be up and ready to go. I'm kind of pre-planning for all the stuff I got to record tomorrow, because we got a new episode of The Walking Dead. We got the House of the Dragon finale. We also have the final special for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, and the oh, I thought you said where is Omni, but you said there is Omni. Okay, I misread what you said, Sean. Sorry. And then I went off on a tangent because of that. But after I did all that, I just kind of went back to sleep for a little bit, because I had some lunch, and usually whenever I eat, I have to go take a nap. Remember when Rick lied to the team and hung out with Grundy, and now he's mad at Courtney for hanging out with Baby Icicle? Dude, I cannot tell you how much Yolanda and Rick are pissing me off right now this season. For real. Right? Thank you, Sean. What's up, Darren? Hey, party people! Give us a little Chester P. Runk here going in. Red Death confirmed. It's finally happening. I saw that floating around, but I didn't see what the source was, like where that came from. So I'd like to know the actual origin for that. All I saw was Bam Smack Pow tweeting it. Yeah, see, I misread that. No wine, but there. I read that as where is Omni. Hello, Helga. Shout out to Denmark. If Canada Graph says so, then sure. Leaked photos? That I'll take it. Like I said, the thing I saw, I trust Canada as far as like leaks go, because like he's the first person to know stuff. And I talk to him every now and then. So, yeah, that's fine. But if it was like some random ass page, I wasn't gonna go with it. Didn't notice no hat. But that's a leak, and I hate talking about those. So it's not confirmed, it is leaked. So let's not spread that fire. So I would appreciate, and then I already got me talking about it because, god damn it. Anyway, I'm going to pretend we didn't talk about that, and we are going to drop it. Anyway. Damn it. Refresh. Where'd we leave off? What's up, Michael Ballard? Looking good tonight. Well, thank you. Thank you. Geek Ledger. Seen Black Adam in 1 hour. Time to witness the hierarchy of the DC Universe change forever. I would love to know what you thought. Whenever you see it, leave a comment on my review. I'd love to see how you landed on it. Or we can just talk about it next session. What's up, Sketch? What's up, Charlie? Did you hear the news about The Flash this morning? The show, not the movie. Yes, I did. But let's not go into details. I would appreciate that, especially with because supposedly we know who is the red the thing, the person behind the mask. So let's leave that out. Liked your review of Rings of Power reviews. Thank you. I'm glad, man. I'm glad some people can appreciate a balanced take. What's up, Ragu? Hope you're feeling better. I do have wine. Well, lucky you. I'm feeling a lot better than I was. Let's see. Man of Steel 2 could be Superman No Way Home with Cavill, Superman, Tyler Hoechlin, and Brandon Routh. And maybe Tom, too. That would be crazy. I highly doubt them doing that as their first return to the character. That would be fun, but I would be shocked if that's the way it would go. See that your hair is growing? Yes. Not too long, and we'll be back where we were before I cut it for that wedding. Every team show doesn't have to hate the leader, CW. That does seem to be a bit of a fucking recurring trend, doesn't it? Thoughts on Mephisto rumors for Ironheart? I just want Mephisto in the MCU. So I just hope that they are true. I like many are confused as to how Mephisto would fit into a show such as Ironheart. What if she makes a deal with him and brings back Tony? What's up, Shams? How's it going? Going pretty well. How are you? Polylopes, you excited for Titan Season 4? What are you hoping to see from it? Actually, I'm I think excited might be a little bit too of a positive word, but I am cautiously optimistic as I was. Actually, no, I wasn't cautiously optimistic with Season 3. I was, like, praying that Season 3 would be an improvement now that it was on HBO Max, and the trailers look kind of good. After seeing Season 3, I'm cautiously optimistic for Season 4, because I feel like they are on an upward trend. And I'm very curious to see what they're going to go. I'm really curious to see, like, Lex playing with the occult and seeing what that happens, what that looks like. And I'm just curious to see the team function as a whole and how they kind of get Tim up to speed. Because he does, in the trailer so far, him just holding that staff just in street clothes, it just looks like he's a little bit of a bumbling buffoon that they're just bringing along because he needs to be trained up so far. Have I gotten any other omnibuses? Notice you got the Injustice and Sandman Volume 1s. I actually have all of Sandman. I've got Volume 1, 2, and 3. And I still, other than that, I still only just have the Injustice ones. That's all I've got right now. I like Andor. Me too, man. Me too. It's my second favorite Star Wars show right now, for sure. I still, Mandalorian, man. Even if it is kind of hokey and comic booky at times and stuff like that, like it leans into the more George Lucas elements. I love it to death. Like even Season 2, which a lot of people crapped on. But Andor is another beast, man. I am loving it so much. And let's see. Mephisto and Ironheart? Why? I don't know. What villain or villains do you want in Man of Steel 2? Brainiac is one I've been wanting in live action for a long time, especially on the big screen. I would really like Brainiac. Lobo would be fun. Metallo could be fun. But I think my biggest want would be Brainiac. Prediction, Titan Season 4 Lex will be real villain. Brother Blood is Pawn. I could see that. I could see that. That would be a very Lex way to kind of turn things around. Because, I mean, the way the show, or the way the trailers are playing it out and the way the poster is going, it feels like they're making Brother Blood the pawn of Mother Mayhem, which is a change. But that could just be a misleading way to kind of turn the marketing and get us off our back foot going into it. Honestly, I thought Mephisto would be in No Way Home. That would have made sense based on the comics that they were basing No Way Home on. But yeah, I would have thought so too. But they wanted that movie out in all kinds of places. They weren't going to put a demon in it. So I get that bit. If anything, I thought he might have popped up in Multiverse of Madness, but still nothing. Let's see. Looking forward to Wednesday and Willow series. Me too. I'm trying to see if I can get a screener for Wednesday, but I don't know how lucky I'm going to be. But it's still pretty much just over a month away before Wednesday comes out, and I am looking forward to the Willow series. I was hoping to make like a reaction highlights to my reaction for Willow that I did for the Patreon, but I don't have the original raw footage of my reaction. All I have is what was uploaded to Patreon with the timer and everything for the watch along. So if I did make a highlights, it would be really grainy because the quality on that isn't as crisp as the raw footage would be because it compresses it when I download it. And it's going to have the timer at the bottom, so that's going to be a little annoying. So I don't know. I might have to just go into Willow Raw and point everybody to the Patreon if you want to see my reaction to the movie. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Willow. I think the trailers have looked really good. Mephisto is coming to the MCU. Eric Voss is going crazy. It's still just rumored, so I don't want to... I mean, he needs to relax. Don't get his hopes up. Thought that was a joke about Mephisto. Nope, the rumor mill is still going on that one. Nope, no joke right now. I'm feeling good. Working on a short film script for tomorrow. Has to be filmed in 3 days. You got this. That's awesome, though. You can pull it off. Good luck. Just got back from seeing Black Adam, and I found it really good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I want Flash Season 10. I would want Flash Season 10 if they had enough story to tell for Season 10. I don't want them to drag it out if they can't physically do so. But, yep. I mean, we're definitely not getting it, I would imagine. Unless some miracle happens on the WB side that turns that whole thing around. I would kill for a Reign of the Superman multiversal movie. With Cavill, Welling, Routh, Hecklin, and Kane, etc. That'd be kind of weird. That'd be pretty interesting. That would be pretty interesting. I'd be totally down for that, but what would the story be? Other than Crisis on Infinite Earths, really. If a Friday the 13th remake happens in the near future, Rowan Campbell would be good as the final boy in the movie. Oh, dude, he would be a great Tommy, I think. Like if they rebooted it or anything like that, they could I would be totally okay with seeing him being the new Tommy. That'd be pretty cool. Does Rick still live at the house he shared with his uncle? Couldn't Yolanda go there and they can be annoying together? But I guess Barbara has better food. Yeah, she at least has food. That is a good question. Rick did reveal the other day that his uncle just up and left town. Left him after the whole incident in the last season, so... How is Rick taking care of himself? That's a good question. I didn't think that far into it. Dude's probably hungry. Maybe he needs to eat some food and he'll feel a little bit better. Or is he living at the garage? Because every time we check on him, he's at the garage, working on the hourglass. Lex Luthor, I was one of the few people who liked Jesse Eisenberg's performance. Fair on you, fair on you. I know you said you won't be discussing the leak, but what's the difference between this and leaks that come from the DCEU, like Superman's Black Adam? I mean, I didn't talk about that. If it's not officially revealed, I don't talk about it on these streams. Like it. And one could argue that the Black Adam thing, The Rock revealed it days before the movie came out. Which the producers of the movie are extremely pissed about right now. But yeah, no. This has been how we run the streams for a long time. If it is not officially out in the ether, we don't talk about it. Rumors are different than leaks. Rumors are just rumor mill stuff. It's like, oh, this could be a thing. But like things that just actually get out against the wishes of the people making the stuff, I don't talk about it. I try not to talk about it. Sometimes I'll read a comment and, you know, I'm reading it until I realize what I'm reading. But yeah. Do you think they will recast Lex if they bring him back for the sequel? Probably, but I don't know. I don't know. It'd be a good question. I don't know. I'd be very curious to see how they handle a Superman moving forward that doesn't involve Lex in some way, shape, or form. I mean, they could recast or they could keep him. I'd be fine if they kept him. Either way, even if I didn't like the portrayal in BVS, if they kind of expanded on that because he's in a different point in his life afterwards, you know, with the whole look and everything. I don't know. They can do it. They can figure it out. Amazing Spider-Man 3 pitch. He says lasagna time to Green Goblin and explosion. I don't get that one. What if Lex summons Trigon back? I actually mentioned that in one of my talks about everything. So, I don't know. Maybe. Could be. That'd be interesting. What's up, Justine? How are you doing? I want to get your thoughts on Harrison Ford being cast as Thunderbolt Ross. I am all for it, but I think they will do mocap for Red Hulk. They will use a stand-in. Oh, yeah. I think they'll probably do mocap for his facial expressions and stuff, but as far as the physical body, they will have to probably use a whole other person for it. But I'm okay with it. I do think it's I'm a little I have some hang-ups with it just in general. Because one, he's also older than the previous actor was as well. But like, I don't know. I'm more curious about how they choose who they're going to recast and who they're going to not after everything that's been going on. One could argue, though, that Thunderbolt Ross, while important to the future of the stories they wanted to tell, isn't like a landmark character, and they can probably get away with recasting that and it being perfectly fine. I was just a little confused by that at first. Thinking about it in my head and out loud right now, I think I'm kind of piecing together the reasoning behind that. Lex might try to enslave Trigon. Good luck with that, man. People were saying that Mephisto is going to be in Ironheart as an origin story for the Hood's powers. Basically, the Hood gets his powers from Mephisto. Okay, I forgot about that part of it. That would make sense then in some way if they tie the Hood's powers, because he is a magic user versus her tech. So that's interesting. That could be cool. I forgot about the Hood, man. I'll be honest, like when we're talking about Ironheart, I keep forgetting about the Hood and his magic source. I had the biggest crush on Christina Ricci as a kid. when she was in the Addams Family movies, and Casper. Well, she's going to be in the Wednesday show as a whole new character, though. But I am right there with you, man. I had a huge crush on Christina Ricci growing up. Hot take, I know you disagree, but hear me out. The Flash got canceled. Eric Wallace has more stories planned, like the Cronarch story, and he has to settle with 9, so that makes the show canceled to me. I don't know, man. Eric Wallace has been saying that for a long time, but his stories always suck. And his actors are done. Man. Even if he has more stories to tell, the actors are so beyond ready to move on. There's there was a bunch of them that were ready and willing for season 8 to be the end until they got the call that they were going to do another season. And then the negotiations for those actors took a lot longer to seal the deal to get them locked into season 9. I feel like season 9 was, I don't know, a stretch goal. Like if this was a Kickstarter, that was like a stretch goal. Spider-Man 4 pitch. Spider-Man runs around throwing. Okay. Hey Omni, how's one of my favorite people doing? I'm doing better, thankfully. I'm on the last season of Game of Thrones right now. I'm on the 4th episode so far. I like the season. Hell yeah. Let's see. Thanks for wishing me luck. Take care. I'm writing down the script right now, so I must depart like Wongers. Well, good luck. You got this. Haven't been listening to the Black Adam rumors, so I don't know what the link is. Another hot take: the multiverse should not be infinite. It should be finite, like 52 Earths or even less than that, so they can explore the limited Earths and make them unique. I mean, that wouldn't make sense with the structure of the multiverse. And it's even more out of whack in the comics, though. But I understand that train of thought, but you'd have to rework the way the multiverse functions and what defines the multiverse at that point, or have an event that results in only 52 being around. That's why DC's got itself an Omniverse now, which is insane. I think if Black Adam makes more than 500 million, we'll get the sequel. I think we'll probably get the sequel regardless of what happens. Harrison Ford Thunderbolt trilogy, Cap 4 Thunderbolts movie, and finishing with World War Hulks. That'd be interesting. What's up, good vibes? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I hope you're doing good as well, man. She-Hulk wasn't that bad. Hold on. I did a ranking for these. Where did I put it? I think I put it at number 3 on mine. Yeah. She-Hulk's my number 3 right now. What's up, Barbara? Discovered your channel yesterday and your videos are amazing. Congrats and greetings from Argentina. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you found the channel. I'm glad you came in for a minute and you're enjoying what we put out there. Shout out to Argentina and welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm still baffled as to why Harrison Ford is willing to play Red Hulk in a role that is so obviously way more work than a normal human role, but he wasn't willing to do more Han Solo. I think he just doesn't. I think he's just done with that character, as he's been saying for many years. He thought the character had run out of steam after Empire Strikes Back. Actually, I mean, he thought the character ran his course in the first Star Wars movie. So he's been done with Han Solo as a character since before Return of the Jedi. Well before that. And I think that's one of his annoyances. Like, for a character like Harrison Ford, or a character like Indiana Jones, he's willing to come back as much as you want and as much as you need him because he loves that character and that character has more to mine. Han Solo, arguably, he's not wrong, exhausted his character arc by the end of the first film. So I get where he's coming from. And this is a whole new thing for him, so For now, it's probably fresh, and for now, it's also probably a paycheck, so who knows? Thunderbolt Ross is more a more nuanced and interesting character to him than Han Solo, probably. Yeah, I would go with that as well. What if Trigon controlled Nightwing and became Red X? That'd be interesting. Heads up, the House of the Dragon finale was leaked Friday. HBO blames a distribution partner. Sadly, I got one thing spoiled, but I'm still looking forward to the episode. It's been a great season. Yeah, I heard about that. I've not seen any spoilers for it, though, yet, so thankfully, I've got my head down on it, so should be fine. On John Campia's show earlier this week, they discussed why they recast Thunderbolt Ross and not T'Challa, and they gave a great argument about that, similar to what you mentioned you should watch. I think I was listening to it in the car, but I got checked out by something that was going on. Because I remember seeing it in my feed. I thought I put it on, but I don't remember any of the actual points that were made. Spider-Man 4 pitch brings back Uncle Ben. That would fall in line. I mean, one of the deals Peter made with Mephisto was to bring back Aunt May once upon a time, so I feel like Flash should only have been like 4 seasons, 5 at a push. I can kind of agree with that, actually. Have I ever watched the Kick-Ass movies? I've seen the first one, but I don't think I've seen the second one. Did you hear the final act? Oh, yeah. Somebody else caught me on that one. Yes, I did hear about the leak yesterday. Just finished watching Black Adam. It was really great. I wish there was a Flash trailer, though. Watch out for Omni's YouTube channel, Shared Universe, the Omniverse. One day. I look at any show like this. You can die a hero, you can live long enough to see yourself become a villain. A franchise can be a victim to its own success. That is very true. So I always appreciate when a show knows exactly where its endpoint is and doesn't try to overstay its welcome. Not the same, but the thing with the Flash is where I'm a little mixed on it, is that I feel like there could be more stories to tell. It's just they burn themselves out, and I don't think the writers are the best at carrying something on for as long as they have. They should have shortened the seasons a long time ago, because I don't think they've got the ideas that warrant these 20-some episode seasons. I don't know. Where do you think we could see Moon Knight again? Maybe Blade? Maybe, fuck, who knows? Daredevil? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Moon Knight 2? Or Season 2? Because there's talks of that happening now. I don't know, man. After Infinite Crisis, they eventually revealed the multiverse is reborn. There's only 52 Earths. The latest 2022 Dark Series Crisis even brought back all the Infinite Earths. Well, the Doomsday Clock event, which I can't remember. The Doomsday Clock event, which capped off before Dark Crisis, already brought all of that back. Like, that's where you actually see DC's Omniverse. Like, there's layers and layers and layers and layers of multiverses, all parallel, that are running neck and neck, which involved the Dark Multiverse as well. But yeah, it hasn't been 52 for a long time, since the failure of the New 52. She-Hulk's my number 4. Fair. What's the difference between a multiverse and an omniverse? I read once that the omniverse is an infinite number of multiverses. It encompasses all the multiverses of creation. That is the best explanation you can get, except aside from it's just comic booky mumbo jumbo to try to make things sound better than they are. It's not that Harrison Ford doesn't like Han Solo. He just believes that the story for Star Wars wasn't a future for a Han. Close enough. In the comics, Connor Kent shaved his head when Lex took control of him. Just Orphan had a buzz cut at Comic-Con when they finished filming a month back. Think it's growing back. Bald Connor? Interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Ford probably got a lot of money too. Messy's on board. Hello. Welcome. How are you doing? How's your weekend? Halloween Ends as a standalone movie was alright, I guess, but the finale to this trilogy, it was so fucking bad. Only satisfying parts were the end fight and the ending scenes after that. I wouldn't even call those... I didn't find those satisfying either, even though they finally brought it in at the end. It was hilarious. It was final. I actually liked a lot of the Corey stuff. Even if it... But it was horribly underdeveloped. And the script was a joke. Like, there were some great ideas. And I was actually kind of on board with what they were doing with Corey and Michael and all that stuff leading up to, like, the middle ground. It was just, like with Kills, executed so poorly. So poorly. Oh my God. Netflix is making a live-action Get Ed movie. I love that show as a kid. I've never heard of Get Ed. Never heard of it. Don't know what that's about. Justice U is still in development according to David Ramsey. A second draft was submitted. This means first draft was rejected. Hope that it gets made. Diggle deserves, and he put in the work for 10 plus years. I'll be curious to see what that show looks like by the end of the time. A perfect example of what you're saying of a show that knows its place and when to stop the story is Timeless. It's a good 2-season story. When I think about something like that, my mind immediately goes to Breaking Bad. I think that knew exactly how long it needed to be. And arguably Stranger Things, since they are cutting off at 5, I think they've naturally built that out. So I feel like that I can confidently say that for now. There's a couple other that... Avatar: The Last Airbender is a good one. Those are the ones that immediately come to mind right now for me. I'm not excited for any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows anymore, sadly. I mean, the only one I'm really excited for is Daredevil. Because, yes, hell yeah. Aside from that, I'm very meh about all of them. Agatha Covenant of Darkness I'm kind of looking forward to. Because I feel like it might be something that stands out a little bit. But, yeah, Daredevil Born Again is even more than the movies. More than any of the Marvel, the MCU films. Daredevil Born Again is above those in my excitement level right now. I enjoy Rings of Power. I don't get all the hate. It wasn't perfect, sure, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a great time. I liked all the stories and characters. Biggest issue was some of the pacing. I agree with you. I don't get it either. I really don't. And I don't get the whole... I don't get any of the arguments that it is un-Tolkien either, because I went digging, man. I went digging, trying to see, like, the justifications people were making, and everything in the show is rooted in some line of dialogue or lore or something that is from the books, from the appendices. Did they have to change some things? Yes, but that is because of the estate and because they had to, not necessarily because they wanted to. But to tell the story they wanted to tell, they had to tweak a couple of things. And Tolkien himself, self-admittedly left this era vacant of a lot of explanation in the hope that future writers would fill in the gaps. And that is a quote from him. So, like, I don't understand the vitriol about the show. Like, talk about the quality, talk about the acting, talk about the writing, talk about the visuals. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But I feel like saying that it betrays the lore or it destroys or breaks the universe or Tolkien's rolling in his grave is just a bunch of people using Tolkien as a shield for their own biases. But that's par for the course with fandoms these days, man. Did you create the Omniverse? That is my secret to take with me to the grave. Ben 10 created first. I don't think technically. I think the concept of an Omniverse precedes its use in media. Yeah, I can't find anything definitive on that. Apparently, Marvel's got an Omniverse now, too. First mentioned in 2000. So yeah, Marvel would have beat Ben 10 to the whole Omniverse thing by 12 years. I really hope that WBD and DC slowly stop supporting the CW now that they only own like 12.5% of the network. Like, I think they should focus on shows with larger budgets for HBO Max and Discovery Plus. Yeah, I don't know how that's all gonna go. I really don't. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Especially after Nexstar takes over. I feel like anything scripted on the CW is going to probably get snuffed out. And that's why DC is a mess. Johns did Doomsday Clocks. Scott Snyder did the death metal with Evil Batmans, and Josh Williamson's latest Dark Crisis. That was the hope. That was the hope, right? The New 52 was supposed to be the start of a fresh continuity where everything is tied into one another and you will know what is going on in the universe. And then they were like, but we'll keep the Green Lanterns connected to the universe they came before. We'll still keep this Superman story. We'll have 5 Batman comics all running at different points in time. We'll have 2 runs of Superman that contradict each other, and then it just... Doomsday Clock was again supposed to reset things to follow a single continuity, and then they started fucking that up again too. There's no way to do it, man. I don't see how they keep trying to achieve the impossible, or just can't rein in their writers. I'm so excited for Black Panther Wakanda Forever next month. Did I watch the latest TV spot? I've seen clips from it, just because I couldn't not see it on my feeds and whatnot. But I haven't actually watched the whole clip. I've just seen screen grabs from it scrolling through my Twitter feed. Remember, we might get a clip on Wednesday as it's the premiere. Looking forward to hearing the reactions. But yeah, I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited for Black Panther 2. Excitement for one of the Marvel clips is literally me clinging on to Daredevil, and now Harrison Ford has reached for my other hand before I fall. I can't wait for his Red Hulk. I like that. I like the way you described that. I really did. I could visualize it. I could visualize that a lot. Still watch the movies. I think I haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder yet. Yeah, it's up there. Meh. I'd love to know what you think when you do watch it. Never saw Halloween Ends. I may watch it later. I hope Laurie Strode does not get killed. Well, let me know what you think when you do check it out. How long are these streams? Usually I try to shoot for 2 hours, give or take, unless I have to cut it short for some reason. Sometimes I go over if we've got a lot, if there's a lot of talking going on. Sometimes I might cut it early if things are a little slow, but I usually shoot for 4 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. Oh, fuck. Just read a rumor that Tom Hanks is on the list to play one of the villains in the Flash movie sequel. This makes no sense to me because Tom Hanks is actually perfect for a DCEU Jay Garrick. Interesting. I wonder who he would play then if he was a villain. Like, what Flash villain would Tom Hanks play? Do you think Star-Lord will survive Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because of Secret Wars being a project later on? Oh yeah, I wouldn't put my money that Star-Lord dies. I think Drax is 100% dead, and I think Rocket is going to be like 75 to 85% dead at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't think they'll kill the entire team, but I think that at least Drax, this is the last time we're seeing Drax. Black Adam was a blast. Lots of great action, funny moments throughout. It was cheesy, a lot of generic dialogue, and some pacing issues, but I had fun. Especially the third act. It was the best part. See, like, I saw a lot of complaints that it devolves into the stereotypical finale, which it does. It does. In a lot of ways. In more ways than most movies ever do. But I found myself enjoying that third act more than a lot of the major bits of the movie. So one of the times where I think they did the generic superhero third act better than most superhero movies have ever done. So it didn't bother me there. But yeah, I think the movie had a lot of other problems leading up to the third act is where a lot of my hangups kind of came from. I've never understood the character story arc is done, so the character should end argument. Like, just because one chapter in a person's life is done doesn't mean there isn't more story to tell. And more so, I think it connects to their use in the story. I mean, he's not the main character. Sure, there's more stories you could probably tell with him, but are they going to be interesting? Are they going to be forthright? How does that tie into the narrative? Like, I don't know that Han needed to be around in, like, beyond Empire, let's say, for example. Because he could have been, you could have replaced Han with any other character in Return of the Jedi, and it wouldn't have changed the story at all. It would have changed some scenes, some dialogue, but the story wouldn't have been affected at all. So, like, I don't know. It's just about the use of the character. Because remember, the reason they put him in Carbonite was because they didn't know if Harrison Ford would come back for Return of the Jedi. I think he just doesn't think that character has a lot of layers. I just don't think he likes Han Solo, man. I don't know if I'm wholly on board for Tom Hanks being Jay Garrick, but I could feel it. You could probably convince me. What do you think of Stranger Things season 4, like in general? What did you think of the whole season? I loved it. I adored it from beginning to end. I thought its pace was nice, crisp, fun. I love the way they expanded on everything. The only things that I feel like I had a major hang up on was that it felt like the California crew didn't have a lot to do. Because they were just kind of on a road trip for most of the season. So I don't think it was as balanced as some of the previous seasons, but I still think it's had some high fucking highs. Yeah, man, I liked all of season 4. I still don't know like how I'd rank the seasons, because like depending on my mood, it can really shift around. But I really liked it. I liked it a lot. Also, Dr. Fate was great. Yes, I absolutely loved Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate, man. Need more of them. Haven't seen Halloween Ends, but you make it look like I shouldn't see it in theaters. I'll tell you, I watched it on Peacock, man. I didn't go watch it in theaters. I probably would be, if I had gone to the theater and watched it, I probably have been, my reaction probably would have been more negative. I'm excited for Secret Invasion and Daredevil Born Again. Secret Invasion, I have some high hopes for, but it just does, like, Daredevil Born Again is on a whole other plateau of excitement for me and a lot of the other projects that they've announced so far. I would say it's probably Daredevil Born Again, Deadpool, and then Secret Wars. My hype for Daredevil Born Again has died because of all the Charlie Cox interviews. He's talking about how much fun he's going to have, but I want the darkness and the gritty, not fun. You know, having fun playing the character doesn't mean the tone is going to be fun. That makes no sense. And even so, get over it. If Kingpin's back, I don't think it's going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and daisies in his show, man. And we know Kingpin's back, so yeah, it's probably not going to be what you're thinking. And him talking about having fun being back and playing the character doesn't equate to the tone of the show at all. Did the Duffer Brothers originally say Stranger Things was 4 seasons? No more. Do you think season 5 is for a cash grab? I don't remember them saying that it was only going to be 4 seasons, but they said 5 was where they want to end it, and they're done after that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I came in. I only started watching it this year. I only watched season 1 this year. But I think as the story unfolded, there was definitely more to tell. I don't, coming off of season 3, I don't know how you could have ended it in season 4 with all of the unanswered questions still hanging around. So I definitely don't think it's a cash grab, because Netflix really wants them to make more Stranger Things, and they are done. Like, they're ready to not do Stranger Things again from the interviews that I've seen. So I don't know. Because I think there's a difference between stretching it out or understanding that maybe there's more to tell. Like, could they have ended it at season 4? Maybe, but would that have been a satisfying end at the end? So I think there's something different to when we're talking about something like that versus like what maybe like The Flash has done. Do you think that Michael Myers should still be the brother to Laurie? I don't think it's necessary. I do like that better, but I don't think it was necessary to keep it in there. I have a little superhero fatigue, so I'm holding off on seeing Black Adam so I can go into Wakanda Forever with some excited energy because I really want to enjoy it. Yeah, Black Adam is a turn your brain off popcorn movie. That is for certain. So, if you do watch it, just go into it with that in mind. It's not going to change the game. It's not going to shake the world. It's not doing anything new or inventive. It's just a fine superhero movie. I'm gassed for Secret Invasion. Its tone gives off Winter Soldier energy, and I'm done with the comedy from Marvel. Daredevil Born Again, Avengers 5, 6, X-Men, Freshman Year, Secret Invasion is my list for Marvel. Yeah, Freshman Year, I don't even know if I will bother with it, because I think I'm just going to stick. I don't know how I feel about it right now. It not being connected to the MCU just, I don't know. It soured my excitement for it all like, completely. The only thing that I I've seen that I could have conceived as a completely non-canon choice is maybe the whole Gandalf meteor thing. Because doesn't he come to Middle-earth in a boat? Yes, all the wizards come to Middle-earth on a boat, sailing from Valinor. And they come... Well, I think the blue wizards, which is a pair of wizards, come in the Second Age at one point. But all the other wizards come in the Third Age, the age in which the actual Lord of the Rings takes place, when Sauron's rise and return is imminent, to prevent that, to guide Middle-earth towards preventing that. So like that's a change. That's a big change for sure if that is Gandalf. But there's also a lot of time compression going on as well in a lot of that to tell the story, because in the books a lot of these events, even in just this one season, take place over the span of centuries and sometimes even like thousands of years. So like there's a lot of time crunching happening as well. So I think it's all, any of the changes that are being done are to make it flow better rather than, you know, having time jump after time jump after time jump, you know. But yeah, but that's not a change I'm all that, depending on what they do with it, it's not going to bother me any having Gandalf there earlier. Because Gandalf and Sauron, weirdly enough, I feel like have this kind of dichotomy between the two of them that is kind of interesting. I remember when I first watched the CW's Crisis on Infinite, I did not understand how it tied all the universes to the Arrowverse when the Anti-Monitor erased all the universes and their histories. They just existed. Do you want a live-action Ben 10? No, I don't. When I figured it all out, the multiverse and everything I saw about it was tied to the Arrowverse when Oliver brought back the multiverse. Again, they did a live-action Ben 10 twice. They did. They were not that great. I'm kind of sad and conflicted. I love the Arrowverse, and I know it should end now, but I'm gonna miss it like mad. I'm right there with you. I felt the steam running out on it for a long time after Crisis. After Arrow ended, there was a magic that was just gone from the world. I felt it start to kind of come back with the inclusion of Superman and Lois, and I thought that could be the spark to reignite this flame in the Arrowverse. And then all that was the precursor to its demise. But I think I'm right there with you. No matter what, I've got so many memories tied and connected to it. It's going to be sad to see it go, but I would rather see it go than linger on and further kind of taint the legacy it's got for itself right now, more than the internet's already kind of gaslit the universe into believing. How do you think Wolverine will be in Deadpool 3, or what reason is there for him to be there? Variant. He's just a variant. Or he's the one from the main Fox timeline, not the Logan timeline. It was through Oliver that the multiverse came back, so that was a smart way to tie everything together, and now it'll be all tied in the Flash movie when Ezra Miller will visit Grant Gustin's Flash. I doubt that's going to happen anymore at this point, sadly. And then Rebirth happened, and they're like, everything is canon. Yeah, Rebirth really took a hammer to the whole New 52 idea, too. Did I like one storyline? I did. What did you feel like? Because I feel like I'm being like grilled a little bit. Did you not? Or yeah, because I really enjoyed it. It makes a lot of. It made a lot of the first couple of seasons make more sense, I think. But I really liked the reveal, even if I did call it before it happened. I do kind of wish he had a little more depth as a character if I did have to critique anything, rather than just kind of like your stereotypical sociopath child. because I don't know. We didn't really get the sense that his upbringing made him as such. He just had a different outlook on the world than anybody else, and it caused him to go the route he did. But sometimes you just need to sometimes you just need a villain like that. I don't know. I liked it a lot, and I think a lot of it came from the way that it played off of 11. I also like the duality, like especially on their barcodes, because where his is 001, hers is 110. So it's literally the opposite of their brands. And it's almost like the alpha and the omega of the whole thing, the beginning and the end of this. I don't know. There's a lot of great storytelling involved, even if some elements of his backstory is a little generic. But he's such an interesting antithesis to 11. But then again, it's Stranger Things, man. It's a show that thrives on tropes. It's a show that thrives on this nostalgia and paying homage to all these great horror stories that have come before. It's a love letter to the pulp genre as a whole. So, in a way, doing anything more than that would kind of be going against what the show is. So yeah, I really did dig it, and the way they kind of wrapped everything back around. John's just doing a new show called Geyser, based on a best-selling Image comics from Geyser graphic novel. He will be showrunner. This means he'll either step down as Stargirl showrunner or it'll be canceled. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. The way they're talking, I mean, season 3 likely. They said they are ending it on a satisfying note because they are uncertain about a season 4. So with that in mind, they are probably not going to get a season 4. Which also, if Stargirl doesn't get a season 4, I don't think that bodes well for Superman and Lois getting the season 4. But we'll just have to wait and see. 2-hour stream. Am I behind? I'm like 17 minutes behind. It's not too bad. Maybe this is a silly question, but didn't Daredevil already born again in season 3? I mean, maybe in a literal sense, but that was a different storyline that was actually called, that wasn't Born Again. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. This is the name of the show, so I don't know. I mean, it's not like Daredevil is being born again, because he's quite literally actively Daredevil right now. And Charlie Cox, in a recent interview, said that these characters are the same. So, at least in his head, and the way that they're playing things. So, I don't know how to read into the terms born again, and how that ties into the narrative. I know that there is a Born Again comic storyline, but it has nothing to do with what they did in season 3. I don't know. I just think it's a nice way to say, hey, he's back. How would you rank your anticipation for the 3 new Walking Dead spinoffs? Negan, Daryl, and Rick Michonne. Rick, number 1. Negan, Daryl. That's where I'm at with that. Do I think Grace Randolph is lying about Black Adam needs to do good at the box office, otherwise Henry's DCEU is canceled? I wouldn't say she's lying. I think that's probably what she believes. I feel like that's an opinion more than anything. But knowing Zaslav, if this doesn't work, if this doesn't work out as a financial gain, I don't know. But because we've seen how he's been with certain things lately. But Superman is a priority for the studio. So I feel like regardless of box office, it's going to move forward. They've already began development on a Man of Steel 2, so we'll see. The streams never end unless it's a rant. Well, shit. I've been writing a horror short film for the last year. I got a director. The cast is all hired. Studio is booked. Just got an email that the director got COVID. So we gotta shut down. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully it doesn't, like, really throw a longer term wrench into things. But that sucks that you're gonna have to push things around. Hopefully you can keep, like, your cast and all that. And it's not gonna, like, cause problems with moving the schedules around. Sorry to hear that, man. Hope to God we get a Flash trailer with a full one, more Michael Keaton and Earth 89. It's been over a year. The last teaser trailer came out, and the last trailer came out October 16th. That was a sentence. Andor did something I never thought Star Wars would do. Make a sex reference. Yeah. Twice now. Well, I mean, to be fair, obviously, you know, there was Anakin and Padme, but still. This might be a hot take. I like the sequels for what they are, but honestly, they would have worked better early 2000s or late 90s, just as the actors weren't too old, but to see that they've been around. Are we talking about Halloween still in this one, Jamie? I think I can say that Harrison Ford's best role is Indiana. I've always preferred over Han Solo. I think even he does. Oh no, he 100% does. Like, he will play Indiana Jones till he dies. I mean, he said as much. He doesn't even want anybody else to play Indiana Jones. So, yeah, that's the role I think he loves more than any of his other roles. I mean, it was part of his return, negotiated for the sequel trilogy in Star Wars. For him to come back, they need to give him an Indiana 5. So, just crazy. But my favorite Harrison Ford role, I think I'll probably second that. I think I do like him as Indy more than I like him as Han. I like Han. Han's just never been one of my favorite characters. Yeah, I think out of all of his roles, I would probably go with Indy. When is Peacemaker Season 2 and Penguin coming out? I think Peacemaker Season 2, I think James Gunn had said the production on it starts sometime at the start of next year. Penguin, I'm not too sure. James Gunn, though, he's apparently a busy dude right now for DC, so we'll see. Well, we're talking Stranger Things now. It was cool. A bit messy, but good. See, I didn't think it was messy. Is Halloween that bad? I don't really care about spoilers for Halloween franchise. I've only seen the original first one. I mean, it's my favorite horror franchise, for better or for worse. It's just this new rebootquel franchise after the 2018 reboot. And it's not even a reboot. It's a what do they call it again? What was the the current term that Scream I can't talk. Coined for it? I always called it a rebootquel. Requel? I think that's what they called it, where it's a sequel but also a retcon. So, like, Halloween 2018 retconned every sequel that happened so that it is a direct sequel to the original film. That was good. I enjoyed that. Everything after that, I didn't like. And then Halloween's got five timelines. That's 6. 5 timelines. Halloween 1, 2. Or, no, we got Halloween. We got the anthology timeline, which is Halloween 3. We got the main timeline, the original timeline, which is Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6. Then we have the H2O timeline, which is Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. We have the current timeline, which is Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. And then we have Oh, is there 6? Is there 6? And then we have the Rob Zombie one. The Rob Zombie remake and the Rob Zombie sequel. Anyway. I could talk about that probably for too long. What's up, Busy? How you doing, buddy? Sinister Six movie that Sony is trying to build up is just a mess. I'm hoping that they don't call the team Sinister Six because they're all anti-heroes. Yeah, I don't give a shit about what Sony is doing with any of their Spider-Man stuff that is not Spider-Verse right now. I'm not excited for any of it. I have no motivation for any of it outside of Across the Spider-Verse. I think it's just dumb as hell, everything they've got going on right now. Until I see it and it proves me wrong, that's just how I feel about it. I wish Dr. Fate can make more appearances in the DCU. However, how can I say that? What character from Marvel or DC would I give the Duffer would I give to the Duffer Brothers to work on? That's an interesting one. I don't know. My brain immediately went to the Dead Boy detectives from DC. But I don't know. I think something campy, fun, and nostalgic would be a great place to play around in. But what would that, who would that be? Booster Gold. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. New Mutants? I think they could have done they could probably have done a really good New Mutants, actually. Wish they stop playing around with hardcore Netflix fans' feelings and just straight up tell us whether it's the same Daredevil or not. My theory is that they want Netflix viewers to watch it. I mean, there's nothing that says that season 3 or that the Netflix series is not canon, so I will keep it in my heart that it is. Still, even Charlie and Vincent D'Onofrio back that up, but the final word does come from Kevin in the end. Even though I feel the thing with Corey should have been saved for an anthology movie instead of an end of a trilogy, I still enjoyed it. I got what they were doing for, but to each their own. Oh yeah, I definitely knew what they were doing. They still did it horribly. It was executed so... It had so many conflicting messages and tones within the Corey story. There's a lot of great things in there. There's a lot of parallel storytelling. There's a lot of ways that they visually told Corey and his story. There's a lot of reasons behind a lot of the decisions that they made in the end. But again, coming down to the execution, the dialogue was worse than a CW show. The character motivations were worse than a CW show. Again, these are my opinions. But like there's, again, like I said, I loved the Corey thing. Surprisingly enough, I loved the thought of it. But they didn't land it. They did not land that plane. It was so cartoonish in so many ways. And then they muddied their message with the whole Darth Vader, Darth Sidious thing. They tainted the whole creation of evil idea. I don't know. Great ideas, just flawed execution. But if you enjoyed it, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie much more than I enjoyed Halloween Kills, but it was like I said in my review, it was at the expense of the film because I couldn't take any of it seriously. Hear me out. Mark Strong to replace Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor in the DCEU if they have the character in the Superman movie or in other projects. I know he's older, but they could work around it. That would be cool. I like Mark Strong, man. I do, and he would love to play another DC villain. This would be his if they did it, his third DC villain. He's already in the DCEU. Yeah, okay. I just saw your most recent comment. He was the villain in Shazam. So he was also he was also in the Green Lantern movie. So it would be his third DC character in the grand scheme of things. But I wouldn't mind him. I think he'd be a great Lex. They could definitely work around it. Saw a funny TikTok where Padme is excited about her honeymoon with Anakin and he's gonna do kinky Force stuff. Then realizes the Jedi have taught him literally nothing about sex. That's funny. Cobra Kai never dies. Until now. Freshman year isn't connected to the MCU. Well, I guess gotta take that off my list. Yeah, they confirmed that at Comic-Con. It's no longer connected to the MCU at all. It's just another timeline in the multiverse somewhere, where instead of Tony taking him in under his wing, it's Norman Osborn takes him under his wing. I'm only going to watch Black Adam for Dr. Fate, Amanda Waller, and the fight scenes. Those are some of the best bits, man. Titans Season 4 trailer actually has me hopeful for a good season. You're doing reactions for it? I'm planning on it. Planning on it. These creators are so lazy. The whole freshman year in Daredevil Born Again remind me of Superman and Lois situation. It's going to be too much work to tell a story in the same universe, so they separated. The freshman year thing, yes. They shot themselves in the foot with that because the whole concept of doing a Spider-Man freshman year storyline makes no sense in the MCU to begin with. So I thought they were going to have their work cut out for them making a freshman year storyline that would be interesting to watch. Daredevil Born Again, there's nothing they need to do to tie it in or make it separate or whatever. They just start the show. That's it. The only thing that'll throw a wrench into it, and it would only be, is if they bring up something that doesn't match up. But starting where they're starting off, they can do whatever they want. And it won't sever the ties unless they contradict something. Remember, in universe, it's been 8 years. 8 years. A lot changes in 8 years. Season 3, actually, in universe, I think it'll be 9 years by the time Born Again comes out. 9 in-universe years from the end of Season 3 of Daredevil to where Born Again would take place in the timeline. Yeah, the writers for Daredevil Born Again should have the easiest time not even having to address it, to be honest. Halloween Ends is a streaming movie. I watched it in the cinema. I was bored and wishing I was on my couch. Yeah, I wasn't feeling good. I was not in a great mood. Or I just wasn't feeling good in general, so I ended up watching it at home. It was so much more comfortable watching it that way for me. Because I think I watched it when I was still like feeling really cruddy. Do you think James Gunn will disclose his DC plans before the end of this year? Probably not. I doubt it, but we'll see. My most anticipated movies are Wakanda Forever, Quantumania, The Marvels, New World Order, Blade, Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four, Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, Spider-Man 4 as well whenever we get it. Titans Lex is the first Alpha Lex since Rosenbaum. Superman Returns, DCEU, Arrowverse Lex were beta. He didn't give Tough Guy energy. All right. Arrowverse Lex is my favorite Lex still. My favorite Lex is still Rosenbaum. Second favorite though is the Arrowverse Lex. Will I be playing Gotham Knights? I don't have any plans on playing it. I have not liked anything I've seen about the game. So, I don't have time to commit to a long form game. And that's definitely a long form game with a lot of grinding involved. So I definitely don't have any intention of playing it anytime soon. So I haven't been able to get a PS5 here, so I'll have to wait. I was so annoyed when they announced it, and it wouldn't be on PS4 anymore. You and a lot of people were, man. I definitely feel you on that one. But if you're like me, you get a PC, you pretty much don't need one. Anyway. Let's see. Shows for me would be Secret Invasion, Echo, Loki, Ironheart, and Born Again. Loved One's storyline. Maybe a fangirl, but I kind of fell in love with him. And I'm meeting Jamie Bauer in London next month at Comic-Con. Oh, that's awesome. He seems like a really cool dude, man. Fun, playful, energetic, wacky. Reacted some of his interviews and stuff. He's got a good energy about him. Very opposite of One. But yeah, no. Hell yeah, have fun. That'll be cool. Remember, we'll see Titan Superman, but as Clark Kent, and it'll be a new actor. Makes sense. I know he's mentioned in one of the trailers, but I have a feeling he will probably be like one of those people. He'll only correspond via messages or text or something like that. I doubt. I would kind of be surprised if we see somebody cast as a Clark Kent. Like somebody physically there for him to talk to. I remember seeing Dacre in bloody prosthetics and thinking Billy was Vecna. I think Dacre released those photos on purpose to mess with us. I do prefer One. Yeah. That's funny. I kind of don't like Daredevil Born Again as a title, because unless it's to do with the character, it's too meta, not gonna lie. I feel you. I definitely feel like it's a meta title. Because, I mean, like we said, it's not like he's going back to becoming Daredevil. Daredevil is clearly still active. So, yeah, the title is kind of a interesting way. Born Again in the comics is wild. I'm pretty sure Karen became an adult film star. Oh gosh. Definitely don't see Disney doing that. I hate think it, but knowing WB, I hope they don't take away Superman and Lois because of Man of Steel 2. I don't think that'll be the reason. I think it'll just be because of Nexstar and they're cutting off the CW completely. We can have both Tyler and Henry. That's why the multiverse exists, WB. But remember, they're trying to sell the CW. They won't own any of it. If the sale ever goes through, I don't think WB will even have any shares anymore. So I don't know how that would work. I feel like I just think CW is going to be short for CW as far as DC content is concerned, is probably going to go the way of the dinosaur soon. It's kind of funny how DC is being handled, but knowing a taste of DC's potential, and it's also just sad. That's the worst part of it, man. DC has so much potential for great stories, great storytelling, fun stuff, and like it could be just as big as Marvel and the film scape if there was just any love and care being like involved in the managing of the property. These last few years. Daredevil Born Again could just be saying, "Hey fans, your boy's back again." I mean, that's what Jamie was saying as far as the title goes. It's more about us than it is about the character. Grace Randolph keeps saying that they should reboot the Batman and build for DC from there, but why does she believe Matt Reeves will allow Superman, Wonder Woman in his universe in the first place? Exactly. I mean, he's very abrasive to the supernatural elements being in his universe. He did say that he wouldn't be against them existing, but that's not a concern of his with building out his universe. And I've heard that a lot, that the Batman will be the new foundation of the DCEU going forward or something like that. I feel like it's probably going to be Shazam and Black Adam that become the new foundations of that, and the Batman will still continue to be something separate. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's all speculation, it's all opinion, it's all a guessing game right now. But we'll have to wait and find out. In my opinion, I think the opening of The Boys Season 4 should have the song The Boys Are Back in Town. Okay. Writing a book, and every time I explain the premise without spoiling it, I say Quantum Leap meets Matrix, but instead of a digital world, you're sleeping. I know it sounds strange. I mean, it sounds interesting, actually. That's kind of cool. I like the description. It's got me intrigued. Snyder should return to direct Man of Steel 2. Tell his fans, who I'm one of, but not a cultist. And still, Snyder should tell him he's going to plan a new event with Man of Steel 2. I'd be fine for him to come back and direct Man of Steel 2. But I don't know. I feel like that bridge is burned. I think he's great on the action side of things. And I've said this plenty of times. His characterization of Superman, I'm not the biggest fan of. It got close. It got closer to what I would want in the Snyder Cut. But I can tell you they're already leaning away from what he's set up and his perspective on the character. So, I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing. I would kind of be okay. I still said this. I want Man of Steel 2, I want Henry Cavill to have a hopeful goddamn Superman. That's all I want. One that actually inspires hope. And I love Henry Cavill. I love Man of Steel. But, like, I wouldn't call that a hopeful Superman. You know, I saw that Seal Abdul on YouTube made a stream, and he said that both Man of Steel 2 and with Brainiac and Ben Affleck Batman movie with Michael Keaton Batman are in the works. Okay, that sounds like I need sites, I need sources, not some stream guy said thing. But we do have at least strong reports that Man of Steel 2 is moving forward. As far as details, none right now. Hell, we just found out that the whole Henry Cavill deal in general only happened like a few months ago. They only locked that down a few months ago. Like what they did with Ezra Miller in Crisis on Infinite Earths is what they did with Henry Cavill. It was a last minute thing. So them having anything outlined and planned out beyond we're doing this, I think is probably just people playing a guessing game and just trying to get people's attention, Daniel. Because I don't think we've got anything concrete, or anything concrete is had at the moment. They call it a requel, direct sequel. See, I found it. I found my way to it, but thank you. Thank you. Zack SJL2 and 3 should be animated, and Snyder should do another event. People just don't want his evil Superman direction. If Snyder can tweak that and remove the evil Superman, oh yeah, I don't think he would do it, for one. And if we even entertain the idea of it, you know the cultists aren't going to stand for anything other than what he originally planned coming to fruition. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's going to be a problem. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. You said it yourself right there. Ben Affleck's Batman is horrible. It's an abomination, but I will watch it if Michael Keaton's in it. I think Ben Affleck is leagues better as a Batman and a Bruce Wayne than Michael Keaton, man. That's my hill that I'll die on. Michael Keaton's not the worst Batman though, but we don't have a great pick or selection from live action ones. For me, it's Ben. If we're talking live action, it's Ben, Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's literally a toss-up between Kilmer and Keaton to me. I'm gonna take the hot road here, and I'm gonna put Kilmer over Keaton, then Clooney, then Adam West. Let's see. Hot take. I prefer Rob Zombie's Halloween movies to the originals. I like Rob Zombie's first Halloween, but his Halloween 2 is my least favorite in the entire franchise. That was one of the few times I wanted to get up and leave a theater. I'm ready for House of the Dragon finale tomorrow night. My anxiety has been high trying to dodge these spoilers. I just don't get how people get joy out of spoiling things for other people. Sadists, man. Sadists. Requel, like Terminator Dark Fate. Poor John. I want Men in Black style zap out of my head. Yeah, man. I'm right there with you on that one. I've seen Halloween 4. I've seen every Halloween film except for Halloween 3. I've seen every Halloween movie that has Michael Myers in it. So yes. Halloween 4 is, I think it's my second favorite Halloween movie. I used to consider Halloween 1 and 2 its original timeline because Michael burning up in the hospital was meant to be it for him before they brought him back for 4. I mean, I guess you could consider that an isolated timeline as well, giving us 7 timelines, since that, you're right, that is an intended end for him until they decided to revisit it. I'll consider that. I'll consider that. Harrison Ford performances that I thought were brilliant outside of his franchise roles or his roles in Patriot Game and Fugitive. The Fugitive was honestly the one I was thinking of too and considering because I really did love him in Fugitive. If you don't want them to be called the Sinister Six, then how about the Spiteful Sice? Until they give the Duffer Brothers the DCEU JSA set in the 40s. Oh, that could be fun. Duffer Brothers could do a Young Avengers. Another one for Young Avengers. I was thinking that, but I don't know that Young Avengers would be kind of up their style, like up their pocket of speciality. That's kind of why I went and leaned towards more like maybe New Mutants or something like that. Did I ever get Peacemaker Dance Down? No, not even one bit. Never had the time. Charlie is flip-flopping around a lot, and it's annoying me. In one review, he said it's canon to Netflix, and in another, he said it's like a new writer in the comics will come in and start fresh with the character. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like anything else. Like, just because a new writer comes in doesn't make the other runs irrelevant. It's just a new start, a new time for the character. That's it. That's it. Duffers would make great Runaways, but I don't think Runaways is on Feige's mind at all. Do I watch the Jeffrey Dahmer series? It's so good. There are a few disgusting moments in there, but it was extremely good and I love it. I have not watched it yet. I do want to, but I just haven't had the time to check it out just yet. I was informed that Mark Strong was in Shazam. So how about James McAvoy? James McAvoy as Lex. I could see that. I could see that working. Are we going to start typecasting James McAvoy as bald people now? After X-Men? I could see that. I could run with that. He's great, though. Especially if the Young Avengers are dealing with something somewhat horror-based, like a threat with Billy and Tommy at the forefront. You make a good point there, CBM. You make a good point. That would lean in towards what we know the Duffers love to dabble with. Let's see. I'm going to start, like, picking and choosing a couple of comments here so we can catch up a little bit. Because I can't tell who's a conversation with others. Still triggered by Superman and Lois retcon. Season 3 needs to be good to justify the viewership. No more this Ali Allison bullshit. I agree with that. Rumors Diggle will embrace the Green Lantern destiny and his costume won't be a green suit, but a purple cloak. Interesting. Interesting. I doubt they'll backtrack on any of that at this point, but, you know, we'll see. Haven't seen The Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton? Of course. Of course I have. I would watch a limited series of Superverse Oliver Queen. That'd be cool. I would watch a Green Arrow cartoon. I don't know that I would, because, like I've mentioned this many times, the only version of Oliver Queen I've liked so far is the Arrowverse version. I just got $100 out of my bank for savings for a PS5. Now I got $760 in my wallet for a PS5, but I got to save the rest for money for Halloween. I got $167 in the bank. You got it, man. You can do it. You can do it. If Arrowverse and DCU did a theatrical cinematic crossover movie, would it make $1 billion? Doubtful. Highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Let's see. Jeff Jones' Green Lantern run would keep DC going for 5 years minimum. Probably more. Like, his comic run? Maybe. The Flash is so bad nowadays. I think CW is short for crap writing. The Flash Season 8 was pretty good, actually. My only negative is the new Team Flash, Cecile, Allegra, and Chester. Chester is likable on his own, but they're ruining him with this forced romance. Yeah. I feel you there. I liked Season 8 a lot more than I did with Season 7, but I do think there's a lot of... I don't know. There's just something off about the current Team Flash and the way the character dynamics work and the way they balance things out. My theory is because Ben Affleck's Batman is not a physical doppelganger of Keaton, we will have two Batmans existing in the same universe and they'll do a Batman movie with the duo. That would be interesting. Kilmer for me. Love Batman Forever. Kilmer's honestly, I think, underrated. You think it's true that since Warner Brothers is moving away from Zack Snyder's timeline, the DC will discard anything Zack Snyder wrote, so I think that means Man of Steel is not canon anymore. I doubt they'll go that far. I doubt that they would go that far. Because, like, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, which they are still making sequels to, do reference those films, so I doubt it. What about Robert Pattinson's Batman on your list? Shit, I forgot about Pattinson. Whoopsie! Alright, so it's Ben. Fuck, damn, this is tough. We've only seen Pattinson in one film so far, and he hasn't gotten the whole thing down pat. So I would go... I think he's definitely got the Batman part down yet, but he's also a very proto-Batman right now. So I would say I'm still going to go Ben, Christian Bale, Pattinson, Kilmer. And that's only because I'm a huge fan of Pattinson and his performance in the movie. I don't know. I might still put Kilmer over him. I don't know. That's tough. I'll put them right side by side. And then Keaton. Why do I hate Keaton so much? I don't hate Keaton. He's just like, I don't know what it is about that portrayal. I like the movie a lot. There's just something off about the Keaton Batman that just kind of, I don't know, doesn't do it for me. And I can't pinpoint it. Honestly, I think it's his Bruce Wayne. No, it's his Batman too. I don't know, man. It's tough. And then Clooney and West. Just want to say hi. Glad you're feeling a little bit better. Hope everything is going on with a good weekend too. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you're having a good weekend, Melita. Hope everything's going well on your end. Really want Men in Black 5 with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. You know, I don't think I've seen anything after the second Men in Black movie. I've seen bits of the third one, but I haven't seen all of it. People like spoiling because some people are just trolls. You never had the time to get the dance. I thought you wanted to taste it. Apparently, I didn't really want to taste it as much as I thought. You think Disney Marvel should do movies outside of the MCU like how WBDC does? Because to me, even though people don't like Sonyverse, I think it's a breath of fresh air. Also, I really like Morbius. I definitely think they could. Especially with the idea of the multiverse being open, they can do things that are not in the MCU. I don't think that they are bold enough, though, because of, at least on the film side, because I really think they're afraid of brand recognition being an issue. But I don't know. But as far as the stuff that Sony's made in the last however many years since Amazing Spider-Man 1, I've not been impressed with any of their films aside from Spider-Verse. And yeah, I think Morbius isn't as bad as like the memes might make people think. But I don't know. I get it. Competition breeds innovation. But I just don't see Sony as competition in that way either. So I don't know. I'm really mixed on the whole idea of it. I get what you're saying. I think that was a valid... I think I felt that way when Fox was its own independent Marvel manufacturer. But I never felt, outside of the Spider-Man, the movies that actually had Spider-Man in them, I don't really ever felt like Sony had much of a presence. Nor do I feel like they still really do have like a huge presence. I mean, they make money, but they just kind of come and you forget about them. Or at least aside from Morbius, the internet forgets about it like not long after it's come out. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong in how I perceive things at times too. I'm embarrassed for not knowing, but are we actually getting another season of Stranger Things? Has that been confirmed? Yes. Season 5 is the final season of Stranger Things. Have you ever walked out of a movie? I've not finished a movie, but I wouldn't say it was because the movie was bad. I've had things come up and I've had to leave a movie, but I've never committed to leaving a movie because I couldn't stand the movie. Because I always gritted my teeth. I paid for this ticket. I might as well finish it. But I think Halloween 2 is one of the closest to me ever wanting to walk out. I mean, the Superverse Diggle, who will wear the purple cloak. But they said in this timeline that he already denied the calling of the ring, though. So unless he somehow gets the box back and goes through it all again, I don't know. Can Green Lantern get a good movie? I would love it if they would. I think it would make 1.5 billion. I'm shocked you think Arrowverse DCU movie won't make $1 billion. I don't know why everything has to be over $1 billion. I mean, realistically, I don't think it would hit $1 billion. I just think that's I don't know, man. And there's movies that I would think would make $1 billion that definitely have not. So, like, I just don't, man. I mean, Green Lantern Rebirth, Sinestro Corps, Blackest Night, Brightest Day. Put those together and you can make content for years. Oh, that's what you meant. It's an epic on the scale of Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers. That's for sure. You're definitely right. Dude, Blackest Day and Brightest Night, those would be wild to see adapted. It's true, Johns has written enough comics to carry DC for years, but I think people want to move away from Johns after the whole Ray Fisher drama, and I want him to stick to his comics. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with all that, man, but we'll just have to wait and see. First time here, what movie are you embarrassed that you haven't seen? Welcome, Michelle. Well, I would say that there's a couple that I've finally crossed off my list. Die Hard was one. The Shining was one, but I crossed that off like 6 years ago. What's something that I'm still embarrassed to say I haven't seen? I mean, there's a lot of movies that people are like, holy shit, you haven't seen such and such. And I've not seen The Godfather. I've not seen any Rocky movies, including the Creed films. Shoot. Oh, up until I watched Logan, I would have said Logan. Because that is something I should have seen. And I only just watched it, like, what, 3 months ago? There are more. There are so many more. But I'm just having a hard time thinking about it right now. Now that I'm on the stage and on the spotlight here. Sandlot was one. Like I said, these are some that I've crossed off actually recently. But Sandlot, Goonies. These are all ones I've finally seen within the last few months. But Godfather, the Rocky films. Those are coming to mind right now because I saw a conversation online about The Godfather, and then obviously Creed 3 trailer came out earlier this week, and I was like, well, I can't watch that. I haven't seen any of these movies. I've never seen any Rambo movies. That's another one. I think there might be a common thread here. I haven't watched a lot of Stallone stuff. Let's go with that. I haven't seen most of Scorsese's films. I haven't seen most of the big old classic, Goodfellas. I haven't seen that, like mobster films. I haven't seen any of those. The only Scorsese movies I've seen are The Irishman, Taxi Driver, and The King of Comedy. Because I watched King of Comedy and Taxi Driver because they were inspirations for Joker. So I watched those before I went and saw Joker when that came out. I know there's more, but I cannot think of it right. I cannot think of them right now. I just think Bruce part of Batman's will be more refined in the second movie or the third one. With Pattinson's Batman being in the early version, they might do a time jump for the second movie. See, that's where I'm at too. I think once we get a more... All the other Batman we've had has had fully formed Bruce personas and Batman personas. His is the only one that's still figuring it out. So I'll judge it then. Now that Hamada is out, I want a Cyborg movie. That's all on WB and Ray Fisher if they can make things work out, because he never got the apology he wanted. So I don't know how that's going to work. Thought Morbius was going to join Blade, Jack, and Man-Thing, but I guess not. Well, I mean, Morbius isn't MCU, so definitely doubt it. Might be a hot take, but I actually prefer WB DC over Disney Marvel. And it's for this one thing. They take more risks and still get up and get knocked down, whereas Marvel follows the formula. I can get that. But I also find the WBDC thing so frustrating because of the inconsistency. I never know if I'm going to get a decent movie out of it when I go watch it. Formula or not, excluding recently, because I think the last couple of Marvel films I've not been a huge fan of by comparison. at least up until Phase 4, I would argue that the Marvel formula at least is reliable, that I'm going to have a good time throughout the entire run. But with DC, and it may be because I'm more of a DC fan than I am a Marvel fan. I might be harder on it. But, like, it's so frustrating watching DC stumble and be its own enemy. And even, like, sacrifice the things that, rather than bolster its successes, or the things that are actually doing well, they chop themselves off at the heel. And it just blows my brain out of my... It hurts, man. I've said this many times. Being a DC fan over the last 10, 15 years feels like you're just trapped in an abusive relationship with this company that has no idea what they're doing. And every now and then, make something fun or good. What's up, D. Coles? Time jump won't be a very big one, but I would say maybe 2 years. Oh yeah, it'll probably be like a year, 2 years, something like that. I know the Penguin stuff is like 2 weeks or something like that after the events of the Batman, so I don't know. Who knows how big the jump will be. Oh, you've changed your name, Donick. Thank you, man. Paddington. That's on you. I mean, I'm not embarrassed by that, but you definitely should be. Yep, I bought this ticket and I'm staying mode. Jurassic World Dominion was close, but because it hit me in the childhood. Grant and Ellie fought bugs, not dinosaurs. Bugs! Oh, man. I'm in the process of rewatching the OG Lord of the Rings trilogies. Hell yeah. I'm in the process of finally reading them. But yeah. I've watched the films, or at least had them on, like 5 or 6 times this year so far. Like, I went to bed listening to the Hobbit film, as good or bad as that is. But yeah. Hot take. I love the Hobbit movies. Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Rings of Power, all 8, 10, or more, in my opinion. Love Bilbo. He's such a great character. Funny, brave, badass, good friend. I love the Lord of the Rings films. I like The Desolation of Smaug. Sorry. And I like Rings of Power. I was fine with the first Hobbit. And I thought that the Battle of the Five Armies was almost a Robot Chicken sketch. But I've not been shy about my feelings on the Hobbit films. You still haven't seen War of the Planet of the Apes? No, I have not seen that. But I'm not embarrassed to say I've not seen that. I don't think that's a movie that I would feel embarrassed for having not seen. But yeah, I definitely still have not seen it. Let's see. Do you think there will be backlash if they revealed the HBO Green Lantern show is its own universe like Titans, Doom Patrol, and it's not part of the DCEU or Arrowverse? There might be some, but I honestly doubt it would make that huge of an impact if they revealed that it wasn't. I really like Ryan's Green Lantern. It's a cheese fest, but it's fun. Yeah, I didn't hate it. The movie's just not good, but I never had a problem with him as Green Lantern. That was definitely a movie they could have salvaged in a sequel with just a different director, another script, and changing some things. It suffered from a lot of things that a lot of other superhero movies were suffering from around that same time. I mean, it had the Galactus effect in it with Parallax at the end. And I don't know. I think it takes too much of a brunt of its failure than it deserves. Oh, thank you, Good Vibes. I have seen The Departed. That is one I have seen. I forgot that was a Scorsese movie. I've seen The Departed. I think another 80s classic you should react to is National Lampoon's Vacation. I have seen that. I have seen that one. Have I seen Shawshank and Green Mile? Yes, to both, actually. Yes. Green Mile, man. Oh my god, it's so emotional. It's such a cry your eyes out movie. Shawshank, I watched in school. Like, that was one of those movies we watched every now and then in class. So yeah, I've seen that a few times. I can't recount it beat for beat, but I definitely really enjoy both those movies. Miss you guys so much, and even you, and even me. How dare you? What's that mean? Miss you too, man. Orphan time. Who do you think will die in the last 4 episodes of The Walking Dead? I think Rosita, Elijah, or Jerry, Negan's new wife Annie, and Luke whenever he shows up again, and maybe Aaron. Hope not though. Sorry. I don't know. I hope Aaron doesn't die. But I would probably put my money on Annie not making it, just purely because why would, if Annie's around and Negan's having this kid, why did he leave and go to New York with Maggie? You know? See, there's certain things about these spinoffs that they've announced that kind of spoil certain things when you start to thinking about it. But yeah, I really don't know. Honestly, I don't think we'll have that many main character deaths in these last 4 episodes. I don't think there would be... I think there would definitely be backlash if Green Lantern pulls a Superman Lois. I don't think so. There's nothing that's been said that it says it's in the DCU to begin with. Whereas Superman and Lois has been established the entire time to be an Arrowverse show, and then they're like last minute, no, we're not. Yeah, yeah, there's been no advertisement that the Green Lantern show was ever going to be DCEU. What do you think has changed in the quality of writing and storytelling for the MCU, excluding No Way Home for me? No Way Home is definitely the exception when it comes to Phase 4. But I don't know. I really can't tell you one particular thing. Shang-Chi is also an exception. I think Shang-Chi was phenomenal. Now that I'm going through certain things, I even liked Eternals more than most did. It's not every movie, so I think blanketing Phase 4 was just like me really harping on the most recent films. I can't tell you. I can't tell you what specifically is off. I think it's tone, man. I think they have not been able to nail in or balance their tones. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. I really don't. I also haven't felt that the character writing has been very fulfilling. Like, there's not been a lot of depth. But I can't pinpoint it like I want to. Hot take, the Batman was disappointment. Box office disappointment. It should have made more than $1 billion. No, I don't think so. I mean, you said hot take, but yeah, I definitely feel like it did pretty damn good. I didn't expect it to make $1 billion, given everything riding against it. But, and again, the timing of the movie's release, definitely, I would have been shocked if it made $1 billion. It was also dual released, which didn't help. Or had a reduced release. I forget actually if it was one of the dual ones or not. I can't remember, but I can't remember. Either way, there was a lot of things riding against it that were that were just holding it back. Prefer DC over Marvel, but Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. I really wish DC could buy Spider-Man's just so I didn't feel awkward in this love triangle. I feel you there. I feel you. I've always been in the same boat. Up until the MCU, Spider-Man and the X-Men were the only MCU characters I cared about at all. Spider-Man is my second favorite superhero. That is for sure. For the longest time, he was the only Marvel character I cared about. Until, obviously, the animated series for X-Men really kind of introduced me to them, and I fell in love with that. But outside of that, until the MCU, I did not like Iron Man. I did not like Thor. Didn't like Hulk. Didn't like Captain America. Definitely didn't like Iron Man. Definitely didn't like Captain America. Until their MCU iterations. So yeah. So it for a long time until the MCU, I was always just DC, Spider-Man, X-Men. Funny enough, the only Rambo movies I've seen is the last one. I count No Way Home as a Sony success. I don't. Yeah, I definitely would not. Only because it's an MCU film. It's a Marvel Studios film at the end of the day. It's in that universe at the end of the day. Let me count that. And falls under that jurisdiction for creative control. Just want to say thank you for everyone to be appreciative of opinions and been in other YouTube channel chats where those like to shut your opinion down. I want to thank you all for that. I might disagree profusely with someone's opinion, but I will never take your opinion from you. Unless I think you're trolling. The movie is just boring, but the character was fine. I don't know what that was in reference to. The part is a great Scorsese film. Green Lantern needed more space in it. I thought it had plenty of space in it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. How much money would a Stephen Amell Arrow movie make? 500,000? 500 million? 500,000. Maybe 500 million max. Best case scenario, probably. I will say this. I love Morbius, the movie, but the roles of Matt Smith and Jared Leto should have been switched. I don't know, man. I don't know. No one other than Matt Smith, though, could have done that dance sequence and made it so much fun. Because you could see the Matt Smith-isms coming out in his performance in that role. I don't know. Saw the 100 Years of Arrowverse, and it was awesome. What did you think of it, and saw your reaction to it? Well, I mean, I loved it. You saw my reaction to it. I talked about it. What more is there to say? Deadpool and Korg were in a movie together before entering the MCU, and that's Green Lantern. That is true. I always forget that Taika was in Green Lantern. But that was also before I knew who Taika Waititi was. That's one of the reasons I always forget about it, I think. Charles Olivier lost. Congrats, Chev. Now that I told somebody that I would love Alexander Skarsgård as Scarecrow and Javier Bardem as Bane in Matt Reeves' Batverse. Oh, those would be interesting choices. I'd be interested in seeing those pan out. I'm not sure what the first part of this comment alludes to. I personally don't get the DCEU hate. Like, when it comes to having a connected universe, I get it. But I actually enjoy pretty much all of the movies. Yeah. I don't hate any of the DCEU films. My problem is they all contradict each other. There's no vision. There's no path. It's just chaos. I don't know. That's my problem with the DCEU. There is no care, continuity, or any of that anymore. Is Walking Dead worth carrying on with? I'm stuck on season 6. I feel like I just feel dirty and sad after watching a new episode because nothing good happens. Dirty and sad, like because nothing good happens because it's depressing, or nothing good happens as in the episode was just bad. Walking Dead, after, like, I'd say about that point, maybe before, does become a little bit of some peaks and valleys. There are some great moments that do come in season 7 and season 8. And I would even But like, yeah, it's definitely past its prime by that point for me. I'm still watching just because I've watched it for so long. I need to see it to the end. But there's still some good stuff in there, here and there. But is it must-watch TV after a certain point? Not really, to be honest. But that's for me. Could be different. Blackest Night requires years of setup. That's what we were talking about. Characters dead years prior, so they're the returns. Characters emotional in the movie. I don't think it would ever happen in live action. Only in the Arrowverse it can. I mean, that's what he was talking about. You have to build it up. He was talking about all the different Green Lantern storylines that could carry them through for the next couple of years. That was the conversation that we were having. Also, is Walking Dead and its spinoffs worth watching? I haven't watched any of the current spinoffs that exist. I haven't watched Fear. I haven't watched World Beyond. So I can't speak for that. So somebody else would have to tune in on that or chime in on that. DCEU is an odd universe, but not one that needs hate. You're right, but pretty much everyone expects the Green Lantern show to connect to the movies. I've not seen very many people at all talk about that. So maybe you're just following other people that seem to think that, but I feel like most of the conversation I've seen around it, I think the surprise would be if it was connected. Because I remember them saying that it was going to... I remember them saying at one point that it was more than likely not going to be connected. But I don't know. I don't really remember the Hobbit movies. I must rewatch them. I met Aidan Turner in a pub once. Thought he was really nice. He was in a show called Being Human, which I really liked, till it got crap. I've only seen the American Being Human. I've never watched the actual original one. Zombie Oliver will make Earth Prime emotional. Eternals after Shang-Chi and before No Way Home. The hype was what hurt it, in my opinion. Maybe. Possibly. Shang-Chi was one of the best solo Marvel movies, in my opinion. I agree with that. It's really high up on my overall Marvel movie rankings. Joining late, but glad I caught at least a little. Just want to thank you for your consistency and sharing so much of your time with us every week. Also, looking forward to more Midnight Club reactions. Hell yeah. Let's see. Bring us a Spider-Man and Blue Beetle crossover comic. That would be awesome. Batman still doesn't know where Rachel is. Yeah, he does. She's in the ground. No Way Home, who had creative control? MCU, Disney, or Sony? Because Sony did, then it's a Sony success. Just in the MCU world. Now, I'm pretty sure MCU had all creative rights to that movie in the long run. I don't remember, though. My point is Wakanda Forever will be the true test if Disney can still make $1 billion movies on its own without help from Spider-Man. Yeah, we'll see. To be fair, they didn't need Spider-Man to make $1 billion with Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. It didn't need Spider-Man for Black Panther the first time around. Like it's never needed Spider-Man to make $1 billion. Lord Omni, on behalf of everyone in this chat, just say we love you. Oh, thank you, but thank you, my subjects. I've entered losing a UFC bet in the first part. Oh, okay. I was like, these names look familiar, but I can't place where they're from. You fall in the first TV show I've watched through reaction. Omni, you fall into the first TV show I've watched through reaction. I watched your Walking Dead reactions, but I don't watch the show because I just fell away. But still want to know how it ends. I'll be honest, I did that with Supergirl to catch up for season 5. Or to catch up for Crisis. To be completely frank. No problem, though. Favorite season of The Walking Dead? I don't know. That's a tough one. I also can't remember which seasons are which. But probably, I don't know. Whichever season it was where the lead in. I don't know. I think it might be the lead in to Negan when Negan shows up, or the season where they founded the prison. I can't remember though. Thanks for doing these streams. It's nice to get a chill chat and hear your thoughts. Gotta go. Take care. Take care. Good vibes. Have fun. Thanks for stopping in. Without Omni streams, world would be. What would this world be? As in depressing. The Walking Dead is sad in that sense. Oh yeah. It still has its ups and downs, man. It gets pretty bleak. Bleak and up and down, man. The reason I don't read much DC anymore is because when you get invested, it resets and relaunches. The continuity is just a mess, so the DC movies are kind of doing that right now, I guess. That's all comics, man. It's Marvel even. What would you do with Spider-Man in the future? I'm talking all 3 iterations. I don't know, live action, full-on Spider-Verse movie. As far as details, I don't really know. Said Eric Wallace's plans for Chronarch and Blackest Night we'll never get to see. I agree with you on that. Spider-Man No Way Home. I love that we can say $1 billion so nonchalant. Right? You're right, but I think after COVID, people got lazy and they need movies to be in-game levels or very nostalgia-heavy to be $1 billion successes. Well, then you're already setting yourself up for those movies you think are going to make $1 billion to not make it based on that. Walking Dead for me was at its peak with the governor. I can feel that. What's your favorite horror style? I mean, I can't get into demons, ghost, horror, slashers are best for me. Bring me Jason, Michael, and Leatherface anytime. I like psychological horror and slasher movies, I think, the most. So, we're caught up. Caught up. All right, guys. We're going to get ready for dinner. I've got some more stuff to record. So, thanks everybody for the conversations, the fun time, and hopefully everything will go great next and stay on schedule for next weekend. But yeah, man. Take care. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.